Hey guys, I am starting a new series on blueprints for storming the castle. I am working on studying this topic myself, and I thought it would be interesting if I could bring you along in my learning process and hopefully allow you to also learn along with me. In my opinion, attacking the castled king leads to some of the most beautiful, most interesting games, and it requires having a strong understanding of a large variety of strategic and tactical themes. If you are fairly new to chess and you've just learned some basic opening ideas and you find yourself hitting the middle game, unsure of what to do next or how to compose a plan, being familiar with blueprints like the ones that we'll be covering in this video series should help you use them as a starting point to form a plan of attack. I hope that this will be a shared learning experience. I am going to start out sharing the things that I'm studying, but I strongly encourage you to share with me either examples of master games that have interesting attacks or some of your own games that you think have interesting attacks. So to start us off, I am going to be taking some games from this book. It's a Spanish language book called Attacks on the Castle. It's by a Spanish master named, the other way, named Ramon Cruz More. As far as I know, this book has never been translated into English. Um, it's quite a gem, um, but I'll use it as a starting point. I'll present my own analysis throughout this. I'll also provide studies on Lichess so that you can uh, follow along. Please help me to enrich this series by also sharing some interesting games that you may be aware of, either master games or games that you played yourself. There is an important caveat, which is that we're going to be talking about all of these different ways to attack the castled king, and I don't want you to reach the incorrect conclusion that the castle is unsafe. That's not a correct takeaway. You should still castle, and as much as possible, you should try to prevent your opponent from castling. We actually have scientific evidence that the castle is a strong defensive position. In a paper from 2020, DeepMind used AlphaZero to explore the statistical impact of different changes to the rules. I'll put a link to the paper in the description box below in case you'd like to check it out. And this paper found that getting rid of castling in fact reduces the rate of draws, makes the game more decisive. The basic reason for that seems to be that when the kings are able to castle, it's more likely that attacks will fizzle out while the kings are still safe, essentially leading to a draw. So you should still castle, and you should still prevent your opponent from castling whenever possible. But the tools in this video series will hopefully serve as blueprints for attacking that strong defensive position and help you to better understand what constitutes a strong defensive position versus one that just looks safe superficially. In particular, as we'll see throughout the examples in the series, merely tucking your king behind a row of pawns is not enough. The pawns by themselves are not effective defenders. They're the weakest members of the chess team, and frankly, I'm not even sure that they're getting paid minimum wage. In general, it's important to pay attention to the balance of pieces leading an attack versus the pieces trying to mount a defense. It's something I've talked about a little bit in some of my streaming videos that you can sort of get a sense for how strong an attack is simply by counting how many pieces are pointed at the region of attack versus how many pieces are in that region trying to organize a defense. Uh, Most importantly, it's important to always remember the most important principle of all, which is that it's crucial to pressure your opponent and create problems for them. The best defense is a good offense, And an opponent that is on the back foot trying to defend from your attack is an opponent that will not have available tempo moves to create problems for you, and simply the psychological pressure of having to cope with your attack will reduce their available cognitive bandwidth to try to capitalize on your structural weaknesses, whatever they may be. With that, I will see you in the next video where I will introduce the most famous and fundamental of attacks on the castled king, which is called the Greek gift. Bye.